I'm talking about photography for your business today. And yeah, first of all, I'm introduce myself a little bit. So I'm Anna. I at the moment I live in Innsbruck, Austria. But have a lot of clients in Munich, and I grew up around Munich, so that's basically my hometown hood, I would say. And I'm a photographer since, I don't know, I started like 10 years ago. And since 2017, I'm a full-time photographer. And yeah, I'm super happy to share some knowledge with you today. It's my first time being live, so please be gentle. But I'm super excited, and thanks for Tuesday for the opportunity. It's really nice to, like, in times like this, to get out of the comfort zone, even if we have to stay at home. Like, so thank you. And thank you, Katie. I hope I will cool down a bit with the, okay, I hope the Wi-Fi is good. So yeah, I'm telling you like a few topics today. So first of all, we start like, what is visual storytelling? I think not everyone is familiar with it. So I will tell you that part, and then we go on with why photography is so important for your business, like so important. And then I will share some tips, which content works for you in general, I would say. And then if you have questions, like, let me know. Like, just I try to read and answer and not get confused. So yeah, what is visual storytelling? Like, visual storytelling is not just photography, it's more multi-visual, so it can involve like GIFs, short videos, also like audios, like podcasts, but also graphics, illustrations, whatever is visual. And as nowadays our attention spans are super short, as we're like online the whole time and we get so much content into our head, it's so important to be there in the first impression. Like, this is like, there's no time, like there's no second chance at the, like, because with the connection, when I'm looking for sorry, the connection is failing sometimes. I hope it works. When I'm looking, I'm googling, and I like, when it's visually good, I go for it. But when, like, the product can be good as they want, if the visuals are bad, or like the website is bad, I'm out. I hope the Wi-Fi works. So yeah, that's super important about the visual storytelling. I'm talking. Sorry, I'm a bit confused with the Wi-Fi. Is it stopping? And you, like, maybe someone can tell me if it's working well. Anyway, so that's visuals by photos, by visuals, and not by text, like avoiding text. Why is photography so essential for your business? As I said, it's super easy and quick way to okay, let So, sorry, I hope it's getting better now. It should be. Okay, let's go back on track. So, why is photography? I would just continue. So, as I said, like 75% of our online shopping purchase and you can like, a potential customer client wants to connect with can really good connect with you with your photos. So if like you have some moody and like darker, like more contrasty images, for example. You create moodiness, and you can get a specific client for that. If you have like bright contrasty like colors, you get like happiness, and you also get a different client. So you really can get some emotions out of the photos, and that's the first impression, as I said. So I'm sorry. I'm still so nervous. But I'm happy it works now. So yeah, building emotion builds trust. Like that's a fact. So when I follow an account on Instagram, and they share their stories, also some behind the scenes, I'm getting involved, and I want to know more, and I want to be part of it. So when they don't share anything, when they just put out like and drop like product pictures, I'm maybe like the product, of course, but I'm not. There are no more emotions. I'm thank you, Wolf. That's cute. Yeah, there are no emotions, so I really wanna be engaged, and that's you can get that with, like, for example, I don't want to share the tips now because that's part later, but you can get that emotions when you sell the lifestyle too. So when I go back to the yoga mats, for example, like, don't just drop pictures of your yoga mat or your like patterns, what you have. Like, also share like a photo of like a nice landscape where you are doing yoga, and because then I want to be there. I can see myself there, and I want to get that lifestyle too. And I'm like, oh yeah, I will buy that yoga mat to be there and to have that also morning routine. So I can get more emotions, and I get more into your brand, and that's what's so important to put out there. So also it's more, of course, it's more shareable. So again, I just send it over to, it's usually a photo or a picture, a video. I'm barely sharing texts because I'm like, will she read it? No, probably not. So yeah, that's a quicker way to spread your what you have, what you want to have out there. And also, what is super important is that you know your target group and your clients. Like, if you're having like really high quality, I don't know, skincare product, and like one bottle is, or one cup is like, I don't know, 80-90 bucks. I think personally, for example, I think like the moody pictures, for example, as I said, are not working. So you better use bright light colors, like minimalistic. You can see that when you Google like cosmetics, it's usually super bright, super light. And when you selling camper van stuff, it's usually more moody because it's more nature related, like moody colors. And so that's super important to know your clients, what they want, how much do they want to spend, and then also adapt the whole, not just the photos, but also the whole language of your like font, like colors, website style. So this is another really important part. Most of people forget to really check what does my client want and who is my client. Is he like 30-year-old hipster, or is it like the 30-year-old guy who's going to the office like day by day and who's like, I don't know, goes to the museum on the weekend and not going out in parks? And so know that, and then also tell your photographer who you want to hire, like, what do you need? Who do you want to attract? And communicate a lot with your photographer. So this is a really important part of finding the right photographer, because you're not going along with everyone. Like we all know that we're all humans, and we're like, yeah, this person is I feel more comfortable with, and the other person not. So when you look for one, like, you can call them, like, tell them about your story, like, share your thoughts, like, how do you want to be represented, and then, like, what is your gut saying also? Like, is he understanding? Are you like talking the same language, or is it just like you're not going into one direction? So if you found a photographer who you think is like your kind of style, your mood, then you can like do the briefing, and then you can tell him about your vision, your like what inspires you, what is important for you, and that's like, it's not just like a photographer you hire. You get you also hire the feeling. And I can tell you, because I'm doing a lot of weddings, not just business photography or brand photography. So with weddings it's the same. Like, you have to go along, you have to get that feeling, and it's the most important. And so many people are not aware of that they have to choose wisely. It's not always about the price. Of course, you have to like see what your budget is about, but also, like, for example, when I talk to my like brides, like, make sure you want to spend the whole day with me. I mean, I'm not that of a bad person that they have to think about like, should we? No, but it's it needs to be the same like energy. And I just read. Yeah, that's so true. That what Dein Südlicht is telling, that it's so hard to catch the vibe you expect. But that's what I said. You have to like talk, like call the photographer and tell them, like, don't just email like, what's your price for 2 hours? Like, no, like get a feeling about the price, and then like, hey, can we talk about it? Because it's my brand, it's my baby, and I want to get the best out of it. And that's the same when you get pictures from a photographer and you want to promote your business. It's the same, because your clients, they want to get the same feeling. Like, for example, when you're a I don't know, web designer, and someone wants to hire you to build a website for their new startup, for their new brand, like, it's their baby, and they are like, oh my god, that's gonna be should be the best website ever. And it's you have to, like, they want to see who are you, like, and that's, I'm slowly coming to the content tips. That's the point. You have to put yourself out there. Like, you have to you should share a bit about you, like when you let's say the web designer, not just like, don't just share your portfolio and your projects you have. Also be personal. like, you don't have to be private. You don't have to share where exactly you live and if you're married or not, if you're single or you're having kids or whatever. You don't have to be private, but be personal. Like, tell them, oh, I like my, I don't know, my cappuccino in the morning or whatever. Like, that's usually nothing too bad. Or share them. You like to travel. I don't know, like, give them a personal feeling, because we're like, the internet is so full of other web designers. And if I would look for a web designer, I would say, okay, where do I get the feeling like, you can get the feeling before you have to call them, and you can select a bit before you have to, like, do all the extra work. So you see, oh, he was in Alaska, I was there too. So you're, like, connected one way, huh? So that's a really important point. If you share some content on social media or your website, on your About You page, like, put something out there and not just a photo where I can see you smiling like this, because that's like, yeah, that's what you get. Like, that's important too, but be a bit more personal. And that's also, you also can share your, like, working situation. Again, if you're the graphic designer, because I think it's way harder when you have an online business, because you have the feeling you don't have that much content, because you don't, for example, don't have a shop where you can say, okay, look at this, we have that new, bags. So when you're in online businesses, in the first, it feels harder to share, but it's not. You can take a photo of your working situation like this, like, okay, one like photo like this, or the photographer you're hiring is doing that, but like, hey, I was doing home office today, and that's my working space, or I was at the Tuesday Coworking today, and that was my view. Like, that's such a cool place, and I will have a few drinks at night because it's a cool bar. So share that, because people want to know about other people. Why are so many people watching, like, trash TV? Because they want to see, who are other people doing, suffering. Bad example, but that's the point, right? So yeah, give a bit of a behind the scenes, and I have to check what else I want to say. I'm lost again. About the workspace, or when you sell products, like, you can go to the production place, like, let's take photos there, like, where is it, get the products ready, how is the packaging looking when you send something out. That's all small details, but that's part of the whole story. And then when you get to portraits about you and your team, which is sometimes really the hardest part, because I know so many people who are always like, I don't like photos of myself. Like, really? I don't like them? I hate them? And I'm like, hey, cool, I'm here for you today to take photos. So that's gonna be fun. That's like, feel like, am I the dentist? Because everybody is the same with dentists. And I'm like, no, it's not that bad, but we're gonna figure that out. So when it comes to the portraits, like, get rid of that feeling you have to go into a photo studio with, like, a white or black backdrop. Like, you can do that if you want, but it's not necessary. Like, for my example, I always go out into nature to take photos, because that's where we feel way more comfortable. And of course, when you're more into economics or something, of course it maybe don't fit when you sit, I don't know, in nature, but you can go, like, I've know so many locations like in town where it's quiet, where no one, and where you can like get cool backdrops, like I don't know, like cool buildings when it's super minimalistic. So you don't have to be in a studio and still can get super professional photos. So that always helps if you're surrounded by something you like. And also you can go into a nice cafe where you usually work, because if that's where you work every day, where you get your ideas, share it, and don't sell a wrong idea of who you are, because we need to be authentic, and because that's king, and that will get you way more emotions than that white backdrop studio photo. So even here, like when you take this scenery, you could do nice portrait shots, like when you move around a bit, because that's also where I work when I don't do photo shoots, like having maybe a bigger table, but still working everywhere. So yeah, that's about the portraits. And then again, it's to find someone who you feel comfortable with. That's key. I tell you, look for it. And if you ask yourself, where do I find a photographer when you don't know someone, because sometimes that's happening, that you don't know a photographer, ask your friends, ask your colleagues. Like when you see a photo from a colleague, and like either text him like, hey, I really like your photos, who's the photographer, or sometimes he's linked anyway, and you can find him. So you also can Google, of course, or go to, I don't know, network events. That's also always a good part. Or Facebook groups, like, or do Instagram posts like, hey, I'm looking for a photographer, or of course text me. So yeah, that's a good way to find a photographer. And then of course, when you have a product, you can do the product photos. That's also always good content, because that's what you want to sell. So you can do, like I said before, like the lifestyle shot to get the client into the scenery, that he gets connected with your product, but then also detail shots. And so for example, if I want to sell a wedding album, I put the album in like a nice living room with, like, when you see the photo, you're like, I want to sit there looking at my wedding photos, and I want to have that heavy album. Like, yes, I want to buy that. And then get in with some detailed shots. So also, yeah, that's also the mood photos, which are not always connected to your product. But as I said before, like when you sell that yoga mats, like share a photo of the coffee in the morning. So again, the lifestyle thing, like connect your clients with your brand. So I think to sum it up, it's really about being more personal. Like that's so important, and most of the people forget it. So share who you are, like what is your desire, what's your inspiration, what gives you power, and make them feel like engaged immediately. Like share yourself, because especially when you're only one person, like why should they hire you? Like always ask yourself, like if they see your website, why should they hire you? Like of course because you're super talented and you got a lot of stuff you know, but they also should hire you because of your personality. Yeah, like that's such a big point. Like please never forget that. Because I see so many cool like individual ideas, and I'm like, oh, why aren't you sharing your passion? Or when you talk to the people and you're like, oh my god, that's such a cool product, I want to buy it, and then you see their website or whatever, you're like, I can't feel what the person told me, but it's the chance to meet the person and to hear the story is so small. So give them an idea of who you are. And then you also can like use the content for so many reasons, like for example, of course, social media, but then website, and also, which is king, is like put a photo of you in your email signature. Like I do that and I got so many people are texting me back, oh, I love to see your photo because then you know who I'm talking with or I'm texting with. And that's again when there are so many photographers out there, and I don't know, a wedding couple or is like asking a few, like they will remember me because they know my face already, and they like when I'm texting them like what I say, and then they see my face, they get an emotion immediately, and that's free connection. So you can use it for that. And then also, of course, for like advertisement and so many other things. So yeah, if you want to be more visual, don't just think about your product photos. And do you guys have any questions? Like, are there any questions? Because I'm coming to the end. I'm just thinking if I missed something, or otherwise I think I'm good. I hope you got an idea of about photography, and you're way more than like, feel free. How could small businesses enhance their business with photography? With small businesses, it's sometimes it's hard, because I know when I started with photography, of course I had the photos, but I had other issues with like logo and stuff. You really usually don't have the budget to spend a lot of money for professional photographer. So if like, I would always like hope, or I lost my English word, damn it, recommend, there it is. I would always recommend to hire someone professional, because as I said before, it's like the first impression is so important. But if you're really on a tight budget and you're like, no, I can't afford it, and I can't afford it, then like I can't save any money at the moment, then of course you can also do like take photos with your phone. Like it's heartbreaking to say that, but yeah, you can do that. And which is important is that you get a lot of like natural light. If you I don't know, I don't have anything here now, but for example, I'm sitting in front of, like, here behind the phone there's a window, so I'm getting a lot of natural light, which looks just way better instead if I would turn this way, because then I would just have light from the back. So okay, I will get that. 1 second, Manu, I will think. So yeah, that's like small, like if you want to put yourself out there and want to take a selfie, for example, or if you also want to do Instagram story, like get some like light from in front. And then also, like, you can light up with I have white walls here, so it's perfect. But if you have like a black wall or a red wall, like red is horrible or green. Like green is so bad because you get the reflection and then you get like a weird like skin color. So just hang some white blanket or something over it and you get the white reflection. So that are some really easy tips to if you want to do like a small photo shoot on your own with some friends, for example. And also, but yeah, that's more of a marketing tip to ask for people. Anyway, if you can also ask you, like when you sell a product, to ask someone to share their photos and tag you so you can repost them. But that's a different different story about marketing. So can you make an example of a brand with a very good visual storytelling? Let me think. A brand. What's that brand called? I think Douchebags, who are like, I think most of you know them maybe. They're doing really good storytelling. Like you immediately want to, like when I see their photos, I immediately want to go traveling, especially now. But they are doing great storytelling with like their travel photos, and also about their story behind. And also another what's the name, Milliken. It's also they are doing backpacks and they are like sustainable and like a really nice brand, and there you also get a really good feeling about who's behind, like what's their passion and what they want to sell. Like they are selling you a lifestyle. And also I think like when you go to bigger brands like Nike is doing very well as well. Yeah, kind of every brand yeah, that's kind of true. But let me think, maybe I find quickly a smaller brand which hasn't had yeah, I know one brand. I was shooting the lookbook for them. It's Verena von Eschenbach. It's not advertising at all at the moment, but they're Munich based and they are do cashmere fashion, and they are sharing a lot of their production in the Mongolia, like their like photos, videos, stories, and I'm really engaged with them. Like, and they also show their product pictures, but also share a lot about the story behind, like where's the cashmere comes from, how is it looking there, like the people, how do the animals live there. So for me, they are doing a great storytelling with super small budget. Like they flew to Mongolia once, like I don't know, a few years back, and then they just got enough footage to still go from that. The first travel brand was Douchebags, like DOUCH bags. They're big. And the second one was Milliken. So yeah, that's any more questions? Or are you guys fine? Like, as I said, like you can text me on my Instagram or on my write me an email. And also, as I'm still, as everyone else, are not having that much work at the moment, if you have any cool products you want to get photos of, just text me, because I have a few like free spots and ideas, and maybe it's somebody wants to collaborate. That's another big point. Last one. that's another big point, collaborations. Like when you're on a small budget and or even when you're half budget, but if you I'm always super happy to collaborate with everyone, like not everyone, but you know what I mean. So for example, my new logo I got last year, a really very, very well talented graphic designer did, and like she got some photos of me, and then she helped me with the logo, and it's like then you can like just change how do you say, what you do, and that's a great way to save some money and to help each other, and to also to push each other, and to get a network. And my Instagram is anna.fichtner. It's like FICHTNER. You find me there, and that's also my website is anna.fichtner.com. But you also can see like a few posts before at Tuesday. They linked my profiles and stuff, so you can text me whenever you want. Now there's another. Is it possible to put off clients by showing a too expensive, exquisite style? Yes. That's of course that can be like a problem, but that also means you need to know your target group, as I said, to get the right people for the right style. So again, when I take the weddings, if I like there, it also like what kind of weddings I'm showing is really important. Who is like texting me, because to be honest, or to be fair, I'm not that princess, like pinkish, like flowery, like cute girly thing. Like that's not really my style. So I don't get weddings like that, because I never shoot them, and I'm not interested in, like it's not, I do if I get the chance to, but it's not that I'm forcing it. So I really share the weddings. I'm like, yes, that's my kind of style, where I feel comfortable, where I'm like, wow, that's cool. Like I don't know, on a lakeside, like a bonfire, easy going get together. So if I would share some weddings on a castle, for example, I would get that client. So you also have to make sure that you share the right content and the right style with your clients or customers. And showing a too expensive style is, you can, some people are like, oh no, it's, especially when they don't know what they get, or when they, if you're creating websites, it could be difficult, because they have to ask you for an offer, how much would it be, so they are like, maybe no, she's too expensive anyway. But that's always hard. Like you can put on your website, I don't know, website starts from 2,500, but that's more the marketing part again. So I think if there's no more questions, I'm good. I will see if I can text in my Instagram here. Yeah, that works. So you can check it now. There you go. That's my Instagram. Hey guys, I hope. Hey, that's so cool, Bacon Studios. I like your name. And if you have more questions, like just drop me a message. I'm happy to talk, or like if you have specific questions, I'm happy to connect, because there's a lot of time at the moment, so whatever. I like to share my experience, and I hope you got some tips out of it. So thank you again to stay. I hope you guys can open up soon, because I love the concept. It's so amazing. So yeah, hope to see you guys out there as soon as possible. Until that, stay healthy and have a good evening. Bye bye.